I think, maybe the silver lining of COVID is we have more virtual opportunities.
Bloomsday's just 10 days away, but if you plan on running it virtually, you can lace up the shoes tomorrow. A look at Virtual Bloomsday tonight.
We're talking sunshine and temps on the rise as we head into the weekend.
When the crowd of people kind of stepped back, I heard, "Now you're gonna die," and then I saw the muzzle flashes.
4 years after a deadly shooting near Pullman's College Hill, the manslaughter trial got underway. What witnesses say they saw that September night? Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. The man accused of shooting and killing a man in Pullman and injuring another 4 years ago was back in court today. The trial for George Harris started earlier this week. He faces first-degree manslaughter charges. According to Pullman police, in September of 2021, a man named Liban Barre, a former WSU football player named Brandon Gray, were at a party on College Hill when they were shot. Both men were taken to the hospital. Barre died of his injuries. Today in court, 8 witnesses testified. 3 of them were there the night of the shooting. At the request of the court, we are not showing the faces of the witnesses.
I saw sparks, and I thought they were fireworks. And I realized that it was not fireworks, and I just started, backed up my car, and I left.
I saw someone go on the ground, and then my roommate pulled me into a bush, and then we heard the shots go off.
When the crowd of people kind of stepped back, I heard, "Now you're gonna die," and then I saw the muzzle flashes.
Court documents state that Harris later turned himself into police. He claimed he was jumped the night of the party and fired in self-defense. His trial continues throughout the week. Tonight, authorities in Grant County continued to investigate the cause of a deadly crash in Moses Lake that shut down Lakeshore Drive just south of I-90 for hours today. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said that car was driving away from officers when it crashed into a utility pole. The suspect was apparently fleeing police after a woman called and said that she'd been robbed and beaten by 2 women, pistol whipped by a man, and was being held against her will. Police were able to catch up with the suspects where the 2 women surrendered. The man involved reportedly took off in the car and was later involved in that crash. The 2 women were arrested there in the Grant County Jail on suspicion of first-degree robbery and unlawful imprisonment. The Washington State Patrol is now investigating the crash. Starting 2 weeks from today, you'll need to have a real ID compliant documentation to board domestic flights. That means your standard driver's license simply will not cut it anymore. The Real ID deadline is creating a major backlog at Washington's Department of Licensing. Wait times can be up to 3 hours for walk-ins. Appointments, which open 60 days in advance, are getting booked up quickly. Those who are 70 and older have to renew their license in person, which is putting some people in a difficult position.
So this really it puts you in a predicament of possibly driving without a license.
That's exactly what it does.
The DOL says if you don't need an enhanced license and you're under the age of 70, you can renew online. Well, the 48th annual Lilac Bloomsday race is 10 days away, where tens of thousands of runners plan to take on the route. And starting tomorrow, you can do the Virtual Bloomsday as well. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy spoke with a decades-long Bloomie who will be taking up Virtual Bloomsday.
Paula Atkinson's an avid runner, so much so participating in Bloomsday's become more to her and her family than just a race.
It feels almost like a holiday. It's a Bloomsday. It's always the first weekend of May. Everybody gets together. My sister comes, my sister-in-law, my nieces, my nephews.
It's a race that had to change its course in 2020 during the pandemic. Large social gatherings like Bloomsday were put on pause. In response, the race's organizers set up a virtual Bloomsday run. Folks ran or walked the 7.5 miles at their own pace, tracked the time, and submitted it on Bloomsday's website. Atkinson says the year running on her own made her miss the experience, but opened up the ability for more Bloomsday awareness and attendees.
I think, maybe the silver lining of COVID is we have more virtual opportunities.
Virtual Bloomsday is a newer tradition connecting people all over the world to participate in the race post-pandemic. And starting Thursday, runners can take part from anywhere in the world. This year, Atkinson will be one of the attendees, as she says she'll be out of town for a memorial. She says she's hopeful for a better Virtual Bloomsday run than in 2020.
I don't remember having a great time. I mean, not like a great time, but a great like actual like clock time.
But she says despite the option, she encourages anyone who is able to attend in person this year, saying it's not just about running.
It isn't about the time, but it is about being on that course with those people.
Virtual Bloomsday registration starts April 24th and ends May 4th, the day of the in-person race. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
All right, let's talk weather now. Another lovely day across the inland Northwest. Plenty more to come as well. We sent our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, outside tonight. Jeremy, any warmer tonight compared to the last 2 nights at this hour?
Oh, you ready for this, actually?
Yep.
All right, let's do it, because temperatures right now are much warmer than they've been the past couple of nights. Almost 10 degrees warmer than where we sat this time last night when I was slightly chilled. Just ever so slightly chilled. Next couple of nights wind up warmer and warmer, but take a look at Deer Park. Once again, down in the 30s at this hour and dropping. That's why your last day or last freeze of the spring always winds up so much later than everywhere else. Just trends colder. We have clear skies overhead, and that's all thanks to the ridge of high pressure. Our storm still sits up in the Gulf of Alaska, and it is not going to impact us now. Looks like the storm now dives to our south. So we wind up sunny. 71 degrees tomorrow, 73 on Friday, and 73 on Saturday, with sunshine dominating the forecast each and every one. But as our afternoon highs climb, the overnights get much warmer as well.
All right, sounds good. Jeremy will check back in with you later in the show. Now it's time for our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. The FBI is seeking information on people responsible for shining lasers at airplanes landing at SeaTac and the Spokane airport. Officials saying they're seeing a dramatic increase in laser incidents. Pilots are seeing lasers illuminating then tracking their cockpits. It's happening in the West Plains area, 9 Mile Falls, Green Bluff, and Hilliard. The FBA notes lasers pointed at an aircraft can interfere with landing and can increase the risk of injury to passengers. Aiming a laser pointer at an aircraft is a federal offense, and offenders may face 5 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. If you have any leads on people involved in this crime, you can call that number right there on your screen. A new bill in Idaho will limit what people can buy at grocery stores when using government-funded benefits. That bill will prevent the purchase of candy and soda with SNAP benefits.
The program's good and it's there for a safety net, and we should have that program. But I think, as far as giving poor health outcomes, which if you look at like the Women's Infant and Children Assistance Program, they don't allow for soda and candy, and they have significantly better health outcomes, and oftentimes that's a burden on the system when you have poor health outcomes.
Before the bill can take effect, Idaho must first get a waiver from the USDA, which lawmakers expect to be granted. If that waiver is approved, that bill will take effect coming up on July 1st. Coeur d'Alene will not give back business licenses to 5 massage shops accused of engaging in illegal sexual activity. The owner appealed after the city revoked their business license back in February. The Coeur d'Alene Press reports the owner denied doing anything wrong during a 1-hour hearing. Police started investigating back in May of 2024, and a police report from June of that last year shows someone else had their license taken away for previous violations and bad moral character. Then just a few weeks later, the current owner got a license for a new business at the same address. Well, she told the council the evidence pointed to the previous owner, not to her. And that was your Night Beat. For more information on any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. All right, don't go to bed yet. More than 5 million borrowers are about to resume student loan payments. More on that. Plus, a local program tied to Dolly Parton fighting for a piece of the state's budget. That story in 90 seconds.